Hello. Good morning. I want to remind you we're recording.
Mhm.
Welcome, welcome.
I'm just here to listen, learn, and support if needed. So other than that, I won't be saying a ton.
Awesome. We've got Mr. Robert Tables, David Poindexter, Astra. Welcome. Where is my?
Hey, there we go.
Hey, there we are. Hello.
Hello.
I'm
Good
Christina.
afternoon.
It's nice to meet you.
I'm Morgan or Astra. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Excellent. This is David Poindexter. He's one of our leadership committee members. Robert Tables. You'll see him on Twitch.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'll turn my
I know
computer
that-
on in a second. I'll turn my camera on in a second. I'm just currently under my desk trying to find my camera wire because I dropped it as I was plugging it in.
No worries. It's all good. We'll wait a few minutes anyway. I know Layla was going to come on and a couple other people too. So
Right.
we're good. There you are. Hi.
Hello.
Mm. David, I know that we had gone over the applicant intake packet, and I just wanted to let you know we're probably going to just finalize that today or tomorrow if you wanted to put any additional notes to give it a once over. I think you already looked through it. I just wanted to let you know.
Sure, I can take a look.
And here we go. Here's Layla.
Okay.
Hey there.
Hello.
Hi.
Layla, this is ML Astra, one of our newest members. And we also
Hi,
have
nice to meet you. Welcome.
David.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to meet you as well.
I just wanted to let everybody know again to remind you that our meeting is recorded. We are going to put it up on our YouTube channel so everybody can catch up on what we've
So I do
going
this
on.
because it's recorded for perpetuity. You know.
I know my children too. I'm all like, "Are you picking your nose? Stop that! You're on camera. What are you doing?" I'm like, "Don't you see that?"
There we go. Done.
Oh, it's so funny, but you know, whatever. They're 7. What are you gonna do?
Are they twins, Christina?
No, the 7 is my youngest, and then 9 for my oldest. But incidentally, it's been, you know, our neighbor kids. They have a birthday party, and they're twins, and they are fraternal twins because they're not right, that they're not identical. It's either identical or
brothers.
fraternal. Yeah, they're fraternal. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm going to open up our Google Docs link and take some meeting notes here. And, you know, the purpose of today is to talk about how we can go about a sponsorship scenario. We tried throwing out ideas before and it didn't quite even get to the discussion phase. So, you know, we're going to give it a shot again about, you know, what does it look like if we have sponsors come in to sponsor individual teammates and even groups of teammates, let's say based on their stack. Let's say we have somebody who says, we want to sponsor a handful of .NET developers, or maybe we want to sponsor people who are doing some kind of AI project, or, you know, whatever that is. What does that look like for our team? Because we have opportunities like that right now, and we've had them a couple of times and pass them up because we couldn't quite figure this out and how it would work. So I'm thinking, you know, if we can just get down a process where it's who would be interested in, you know, being sponsored by a company, and then maybe, you know, how we rotate people or how we approach people. Where do we start with that? Does anybody have any experience with individual sponsorship in their streams?
I've been sponsored.
Yeah.
I have as
Microsoft.
well.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh,
Tell
I
us-
was. Oh, sorry.
Tell us what that looks like. Tell us what that looks like, Emma Astra. Like, what what capacity and how did that work for you?
So I was sponsored by Wizards of the Coast around the release point of MTG Arena. So this was a few years ago now. I actually got given the opportunity through Stream Elements, and it was pretty much just a sign up process. And then they asked me, what can I get? What can I provide to them? So it was just basically like we had that conversation. Then it went to, okay, what do you want out of this? And that conversation happened, and then I ended up with the sponsorship for a couple of weeks just by playing MTGA. It was easy. It was just a bit nerve-wracking for me because I suffer from quite chronic anxiety. So talking to big companies and talking to what I would consider big people, it terrifies me a little bit.
So actually, it would be more helpful in that case for somebody like you, for example, if the Live Coders crew managed that process and then just said, hey, we found a sponsor for you, play this game for a few weeks.
Yeah, it's basically like a broker.
Right. How about for you, Layla? How does that work for you? What's any of your experience with it?
In my line of work, I deal with a lot of where I'm trying to sponsor people. So I'm used to being on the other side of it. So I'm trying to sponsor at events and groups and things like that. So my sponsorship through Microsoft was, they had an agency reach out to me, and it was actually the Azure division, and they wanted to sponsor one of my streams. I have the contract, so I can share that with you, Christina, that they sent me. So I needed to sign a contract. It was use one of the Azure services. So I chose to do Azure Functions, and I was going to use Lewis, but I didn't in the end. So all I needed to do was use one of their products. They didn't care what, just an Azure product. So I said I'd do it for 3 hours. I said what day it was going to be. They needed a recording of it. I needed to sign a release. They gave me, I had to show something at the beginning of my stream, which was a code of conduct, a link to a code of conduct that they provided. And also that once per hour, a chat message would come up. So it was automated saying the stream is sponsored by Microsoft. And they gave me some voucher codes for the Microsoft shop to give away some swag. So it's pretty straightforward. They paid me through PayPal. All I had to do was sign the contract, return that. That was an online document signing thingy. Pretty straightforward. No real issues there. I didn't have any problems with the contract. And then I just did it, and I uploaded them the video, and like 3 months later they put it on YouTube, and that's it.
I like that. I'm wondering about the YouTube stuff. Did you have to do any post-production? And it said when you said you gave them a video, you're just saying you gave them the 3-hour recording afterwards. That was uncut. You didn't manage any of that, right?
I didn't have to do any of that aspect of it. It was completely, here is the raw stuff. You cut it how you want. Like if they wanted to do a teaser video, whatever, I don't care. They'd paid me. And then
you didn't have to do any post-production work or marketing or anything. That's great. No. Did it help your stream? Did it benefit your stream in certain ways, or was it more like it was nice to have a sponsorship?
I don't think it made any difference, to be honest.
As far as how people were watching you or anything.
I think because it wasn't on my usual time slot. It was on a Saturday. So that might have been it. But I couldn't do it. Normally I'd stream in work hours, and it didn't feel right to be sponsored by Microsoft in my work hours. So I guess it depends on the person. If it was my usual scheduled slot, it might have been better. I still had good numbers, not the numbers I was getting during the week. So I think around that time during the week, I was averaging 65, 70, I think, something like that. And that my average for that was something like 45. They did want some statistics, so I just gave them a printout, CSV from Twitch with the stats for the stream, and they seem pretty happy with that. So
Okay, cool. How about for you, David? Have you been sponsored in any streams before? Did you have a similar experience that, or anything different that stands out that you want to mention?
I have not had any official
Uh-huh.
sponsorships.
Uh-huh.
There was sort of like an informal one that I had going on for a while with Particle.
Uh-huh.
They're an IoT and IoT cloud company where it was more of just, I got interested in their products and knew another streamer that worked for them. And he was kind of like, hey, well, I'll send you a whole bunch of free stuff and you can play around with it. And so I did that
Got
on
it.
stream. So it wasn't
Got
a
it.
formal thing.
I
But
see.
I also did nothing to pursue a formal thing. So
Uh-huh.
you know.
So I'm wondering if maybe we set something up for like these would be some levels where you could sponsor people. And if you give people coupon codes, you give people swag, it would be a 3-hour thing. Is a 3-hour sponsor how they usually do it, or is it 1 hour? Sometimes they might want to do series, right? I mean, depending on the product you're using.
In my knowledge, it
Anything?
kind of depends.
Okay.
So at least with my experience,
Uh-huh.
depending on how long I stream, depended on what wizards would have given me once the sponsorship had concluded. And I think I did around over 3 days. I did about 12 hours,
Okay.
and it didn't qualify me for anything big, but it I got a lot of in-game stuff to play around with during the streams as well, and yeah, I got to have the Wizards of the Coast branding on my channel, which at the time, because
Yeah.
I was a bit younger and I was quite much a smaller channel. I thought that was amazing.
Excellent. Yeah. So if we then just designed a contract, pay people with PayPal, I guess, we talk about these are the options. Maybe there's swag, there's some, what's the chat message? How long does the chat message have to be? Is it 500 characters, right? I think
that's just max. It's 500.
yeah, it didn't
I
need.
could be wrong.
Yeah,
They
I
just gave
think
me a
so.
bit of script or something. It wasn't like it has to be this. They were just like, could you post this on it? They were very
Gotcha.
relaxed about it. Yeah.
Cool.
I-
And then we just leave the length of the stream open per person, I guess. It would have to be per sponsor. Go ahead, David.
I know a couple of people that are in a gaming community centered around Diablo, specifically Diablo 3. And I started noticing a trend. And so, there's one particular streamer in this group of several that are related. They don't have like a Twitch team, but they all sort of work together, and they formed a website and they have a whole thing. Well, I noticed NordVPN, all feelings about that aside, was the thing that I'm like, there's a logo here and he keeps stopping every 30 minutes or something saying, hey, as he's doing gameplay on a game, like as a reminder, NordVPN and stuff like that. And then there was a Stream Elements bot that every so often would drop a thing with a link to their stuff. So I asked him about it and he's like, yeah, they sponsored like our whole team. I was like, well, what do you got to do for that? And he said, really not much, just have that logo, a message every now and then, say something about it on stream. But it seemed like
I like that. I
a
like it.
really like non-super involved type of a
Right.
thing,
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't have to do all of that preparation, listen, everybody here is already doing so much, and this is like a fun thing. And so I'm thinking if this is a fun way to help the team members get a little bit extra money while they're already doing what they're doing without making it too complicated, right? I think that's good. So, having those different things, maybe even if they want additional things, they'd have to pay more money, right? Like some streamers have bots set up, other streamers don't have bots set up. It would
Some
take
streamers, I was going to say some streamers even have custom bots, ones they've written
more.
themselves.
Right. So that might be another almost an upgrade for the sponsor, do you think, or no? Because then the stream bots are constantly promoting them, or is that's not important to them? It's just more of just the time.
I think it's probably on a case by case basis. If
Yeah.
it may be that the sponsorship is to write a bot using an API, for example. So,
oh, sure. I see.
yeah. So maybe, like, for example, with Lewis, or you may pipe every chat bot, a chat message through to a sentiment analysis, and
Right.
using one of a sentiment analysis API and show emojis on the screen or something like that. So you could, I don't think we can be so prescriptive on that. As long as a sponsorship message is auto played on chat, if that's
Yeah.
what the sponsor requires, I think that's all we can say.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't think we can be too sorry, David.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say that I don't think we can be as prescriptive as, you know, it may be in this, we'll charge more for that.
Sure.
I think it's
okay.
going to be on a case by case. And I think we just want to enable fair deals for our members and make sure that what they're getting is fair, and
like
you
ML
know,
Astra said, the anxiety, we can help take the anxiety, and then you can make a few extra bucks, I think.
It's a contract as well. And I
Yeah.
mean, I'm used to looking at contracts, but still, it took me a few days to like sign it, because I was like, what am I actually signing here? And maybe that's something that, you know, we can do, that we have, you know, this company has this stock contract, or maybe we as the live coders have a contract, we pay a lawyer to draw it up, and that's what we use. So we are happy that the language and everything about the contract is protecting our streamers, so that us as streamers don't have to go, oh my God, this is a contract. Do I need to get a lawyer? And I think that's a big part of what we as the live coders can offer streamers, taking away that anxiety around signing your life away. And God knows, maybe you're signing, I mean, you hear horrible things about sponsorship deals. You know, if you look at the YouTubers, what they, you know, I've seen a lot of them vlog about it. The sponsorship deals they can be really horrific, and we don't want any of our members or anyone to be subjected to something. Yes, sorry, Emma Lester.
I was going to say, in relation to the whole YouTuber sponsorships, remember the debacle that happened with like YouTube networks a few years ago, like how restrictive networks like Machinima were, Fullscreen, Maker Studios. That went downhill very fast.
Got it. Yeah. Okay, so go ahead, David.
One more thing on the when we were talking about the bot type stuff.
Yeah.
I agree with Layla that some of that will have to be case by case, and there may be people that either don't have a bot, they're unfamiliar with how that works. While we have a giant team that can help them with that, I believe that there could be a case to be made that we could at least, in the marketing side of attracting sponsors, list those types of activities as potential things that could benefit sponsors broadly. The basic of which is there will be a clickable link, right? As opposed to you show an overlay of the URL that people should go to try somebody's whatever. They'll have a thing that is clickable. There could be some sort of like a table stakes way of saying, you know, a link will be dropped in chat to allow direct navigation to your whatever. And then anything beyond that they want, like, well, how many, you know, different messages, all that can be kind of up to the parties, you know, that are getting engaged in this thing. What do you think about that?
Right. And then just secondarily say, you know, there are potential things that you could discuss on an individual case by case basis.
Yeah. I think that listing like potential ideas of things that we could do would be helpful for members that are new to getting sponsorships, because maybe they don't know about those kind of things, right? And so like you're saying, you get asked a question, what can you provide to us?
Right.
Well, we'll have a whole bunch of ideas that a lot of us have come up with as things you could do. I don't know, being asked that question up front, it's kind of like, I I don't know. What could I do? Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I like that. So have that idea that it's almost like a brainstorm list to talk to your streamer with and come up with some things, and then just put that into the contract of what you're going to do. So do we start with a sign up form and our contact? Who's interested in this? And here is the contract, and it has been reviewed and by everybody. Now, once we have the contract, we will have, maybe if we can get an attorney to review it, solidify it for the team and say, all right, now this is the process. Everybody who's signed up, we're going to organize people by what? I don't know. I guess it would be by interest, by their tech stack, by their parts of the planet, because maybe the
Yeah.
certain times in the day.
I think
it starts to get,
there's a lot of like cross segment things that could be looked at.
Mhm.
So I would be thinking that it wouldn't just be one thing, it would be many things intersectionally.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What would those
I don't
things
think we
be
can
besides tech
categorize it.
stack?
I mean,
Besides tech stack,
it could
timing,
be by audience reach, it could be
audience
by
reach.
type of audience, it could be by company affiliations. I mean, let's be honest, it could be, do you happen to be a person that represents diversity that they're looking for at the moment, right? I mean, there's probably quite a few factors.
I
Excellent.
was
Mhm.
I was gonna say another factor could possibly be maybe a streamer's proficiency in a certain
Mhm.
stack. I guess.
Proficiency, sure.
So like for someone like me, I'm all right with C# or web-based languages, but you try and give me something like C++ or that or anything else. I know it, but I'm not very good at it.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe there could be like proficiency with certain stacks and tools, but there could also be familiarity with what the sponsor, who they are in the first place. Like, is this a trial run of you've never heard of us and we want you to try our stuff, or we want someone who can really flex and show Lambda, right? So they're probably going to be like, are you familiar with AWS? Do you do things in a secure way and all that?
How about this? How about we have intro letter that says this is what we're about. This is our intention. We want to support our streamers for these reasons. And if you'd like to pitch our team with your sponsorship. And then we say, hey, everybody, we've got a company. This is their pitch. Who wants to sign up to be picked? And then we give the company, here's the list of everybody who said they're interested. Company, go ahead, company, who do you want to sponsor? And let them do the rest of their research.
So let me think about this from the two different angles and then get your thoughts on this, everybody on the call. To me, it looks like what we're, and correct me on any of this stuff, what I hear that we're wanting to do is we want to build the bridge between the two parties, right? And part of that is going to have to be, how do we help each side have an easier time? So like,
correct.
If we put this out to the group and the first question is, well, what sponsor is interested right now? If it's like, well, nobody yet, we want to hear from you first before we go find them, then it's like, okay. Or a sponsor approaches us and we don't have this stuff figured out, like who can we pick from, then that doesn't match either.
Right.
So we got to brainstorm through how is it that we do something for each of them and gradually build toward a very smooth pipe in the middle.
Correct.
Okay. I can help with that because
Mhm.
I actually want to sponsor some individuals on the team. So if we want to go through that, we can use me as a
The
case
pilot
study,
program. Great.
a pilot, because I'm
Excellent.
one of us. So if
Mhm.
we can go through, I know that I want people who can make HTTP requests and have a certain not necessarily web development. It could be, you know, X, Y, and Z, and I won't want 5 .NET developers. I'll want a .NET developer, a Python developer, a Ruby, you know, these types of things. And maybe this, we can start to use, because I won't get the hump if we're like, you know, something goes wrong. I'm very happy to help from the sponsor side to work out how we do this framework, if that's helpful. I think I'd like to err away from getting too prescriptive on putting people into buckets. No one wants to be put into buckets. I feel that we have a sponsor, and they have the following requirements, and they, you know, they have X, Y, and Z. They're paying this, and we sort of post it, and then we open up, we'll say to the sponsor, maybe we'll give the team 7 days to respond, and then everyone who is interested, because maybe it's not enough money for some people. There's some big streamers out there, and maybe they're like, well, $200 isn't worth my while, thanks, you know.
I mean, it's fair.
Because it may not be, you know.
It's like it's like playing a lot of games, right? You're gonna go do those side quests, but you're like, that's not worth it, you know.
You know, and some people, we want to say that, you know, maybe the person must have a minimum of 600 followers and have streamed in the past month 3 times. I don't know what it is. I haven't looked into that from my perspective as a sponsorer. But I think maybe this is what we want to ask the sponsors, when they're coming in. We could have a Google form where they do it, like, where they start to fill out these things, and we can, like, do you have a minimum follower count? Do you have a minimum this? Do you have a maximum this? Maybe they don't want a big streamer. They want to support smaller streamers. And if they've got more than 1,000 people, they're like, nope, they're too big for us. We want to nurture and grow the smaller streamers because that fits with the company's values. So we don't know. There could be all sorts of aspects that a sponsor might have of interest that we can't speculate on, but maybe we can create a like a Google form with some fields, and we can always update the fields as we get more questions, or have a free text input. And maybe that's a way. What do you think of that, Emalastra?
For me personally, that sounds brilliant, because it is it takes quite a lot of the parts that, at least to me, are a bit panic inducing,
Right,
and wraps up in a format that's easier to understand or easier to work through.
right. So we ask the sponsor, what's their offer? What are they looking for? We go to the team and say, this is what we've got. And then who's interested? And then 7 days, that's good. 7 days for anybody who signs up, anyone who's interested. And then we connect them. And the connection then with the contract, you know, the company is going to likely want their own agreement, or do we have our own agreement that we support everybody with? So they, you know, as they're representing the live coders. The other thing is, as they're streaming through that, then we're helping. How does that relationship work? Let's say then, Layla, you're the sponsor, and then you want to sponsor somebody separately outside of the live coders, or that person takes that same thing that they did with you and they go to another company. Are you fine with that if they do that same model and then they use somebody else's tech to do the same thing as a company, right?
I think so. What we're touching on here is exclusivity, and I think that could scare people away. There was nothing about that. Microsoft didn't say I couldn't go and use AWS or Google and do a very similar thing with it. What I think, how the live coders is helping here, we could say that company A has their contract, and that contract is with the live coders. the team. And then that's just the one contract to look at. And it's like, you will do streamers and blah, 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 whatever, we want 3 hours. And then we can have, so we can, I'm only speculating, we'd have to see like, how this fits with us, but perhaps the company has a contract with the live coders, and the live coders then does the contract with the individuals. So we know that whatever we do is protect the paramount thing here is to protect our team members and stop them being exposed or exploited, and take all of that worry out of looking at a contract. And we can go, we got our standard contract here, and what we're going to do is, this is what they want. You're going to stream for 3 hours. You have to show this thing 5 times in your stream and give out these codes. That's it. And you have to return a video. Are you okay with that? That's our standard contract that we do. And then the live coders deals with the contract with the sponsor, perhaps. We'll say, okay, well, we'll make sure that our streamers produce X, Y, and Z for you, hand it over, it'll get dropped into this Google Drive and you can come and fetch it. But we've got that because the live coders team to handle all the sponsorship monies is incorporated. I assume, I don't know, I'm a big assumption that we have some liability insurance.
Correct.
Yes. So then the live coders is offering that liability. Correct. They're in contract with the sponsor. Correct. So we're removing our team from any of that hassle. Yeah. I think that would have to go through, but perhaps that's what we're offering, because I think
we have 2 agreements, one with the streamer and one with, sorry to interrupt. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Oh, no, it's fine. Because I think a big thing about when it was raised last time is like, why is the live coders team getting in the middle of this? What value are we offering? And I think the value that we can offer is that we take some of that anxiety away.
Yeah.
And we pre-vet, like you're covered by the team liability, because the contract is actually with the live coders team, not the individual.
Correct.
And that might take a lot of the worry away. And maybe that's what the live coders brings to it. And then to your other point about what if I as a sponsor goes and contacts David outside and said directly, David, do you want to just do the stream outside, cut the live coders out? Well, David doesn't have that protection, nothing's stopping him doing it, I don't think. But David will have that contract direct.
But still though, some people might be okay with that. Some people might be okay. Right. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Some people may not have that anxiety, or some people may even, for whatever reason, they may be lots of different reasons.
Or want to negotiate more money.
Correct.
I don't know.
Right. Right.
We're not here to control the market or monopolize it.
Right.
What we want to do is we're here to make the lives of our community members easier and facilitate things and offer opportunities.
And the thing is we have so many opportunities, I think, than a lot more people can get individually, because we have more visibility as a team, right? Yeah. And so I feel like we have a lot of that to offer. And just once we get the process in place, people are going to see how it works, and they're going to be really happy about how easy it is. So if we can just have a plug-in place, I think the 2 contracts with the individual team members, and then also with the sponsor themselves is the solution to that. I think that's terrific. And that way, like you said, when people do want to maybe I do want to negotiate on my own, I'll do it. That's
no
fine.
Problem.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah.
I think the value add was like the part that we were missing sort of the first time, and not really having a firm decision on the exclusivity aspect of it. And so those things combined to, it was rough. But I think if we're explaining the value add, there is also possibly another value that we could add, is that you are on a team of very experienced people in things. There is some minimum support that our team members can expect from us, especially if they're like, hey, I've got questions around this, or I'm confused. Can you ask the sponsor about whatever? And it's like, we'll have somebody maybe that could do that on their behalf, so they don't have to have that anxiety of like,
Yeah,
make everything super,
communications.
super clear, super documented.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. I'm liking the idea.
How about for
Um,
you, Astro? Would you have something to add?
I do have something to add, and it's also more of like a question because I heard liabilities insurance was mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of long lines of people that maybe for some reason or another. So say someone like me, I take care of someone else who
Mhm.
is also who's also unwell.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes I may have to drop everything at a moment's notice and go and help them.
Mm-hmm.
Or say if I have like a day where like I've had a mental break
Mm-hmm.
and I could stream, yes, but it would
Yes, but
not
the
be
brain
great.
fog on those days is too much if you just can't get there. I
If you
get
can't
it.
get, yeah, because
Yeah.
I have had quite a few days where I cannot get in the
Same.
zone. I
Same.
tried to do it and it's just like, no, okay, it's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming like liabilities and stuff would protect that. I could
Well,
be
and
wrong.
not only that, but having, if that's a thing, you can always just communicate that expectation and manage those expectations, right? So you could even set your contract to say, you know what, this week I'm going to stream for 3 hours sometime during this time. And you could just say, if they don't care about the flexibility, which it's likely that they won't, right? Really, they want to get their product out there. And as long as it's within those time zones of the geolocation they're targeting, I think that should be fine.
I think my
Okay.
contract with Microsoft said that they wanted it by like the end of the month. So I could
I
do it any
see.
time in that
Okay.
month.
Cool.
I actually did mine for Speak Like a Pirate Day. So I did it on the day.
I speak like a pirate.
Yeah. I
Arr,
actually
Mickey.
had a custom background and I
I love
drew
it.
a mustache and a goatee on with eyeliner and had like
It's
headscarf.
cute.
I did the whole thing.
Cute. It's
Yeah.
cute. I
But
love it.
I did that, but there was no stipulation that
Good.
it had to
Yeah.
be on X day. It was just like, could you do it? We need it in the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And I think that is a value add that we could do on the team side and be like, our streamers, shit happens.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
if our streamer says they'll stream Tuesday at 2:00, they will try to do that with the best intentions.
Yeah.
If for whatever reason they can't, we will aim to give you notice at the earliest possible convenience, which could be 0 minutes. And I think that's something that us as the live coders can put forth, because that's what we have the clout,
Yes.
because we're bigger, which maybe an individual streamer, there's also discoverability. So like smaller streamers might not have the discoverability, or us in the UK might not be discovered because we stream in the morning in the UK, but we're huge streamers, but we don't stream, and we're not on the radar of people on the West Coast because they're just not awake when we stream, and I don't know what's happening in Australia. So what the Live Coders does is give discoverability to a lot of people. So that's another value add. And maybe Octopus Deploy, which is an Australian company, I think, they're not awake when I'm doing stuff, but maybe they're like, Layla would be just the person. I'm not far from it. No.
Right.
But that type of thing. So I think I think that's what we need to be able to do, is enable the flexibility and discoverability for all of our members.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one thing that we could consider is, I don't know if your experience with Microsoft in the get it to us by the end of the month is the normal use case, or if that was an exception. I don't have any data. But if we did end up with a situation where a sponsor did want a particular day and particular time-ish just because of trying to hit a particular, maybe breaking into a new market or something, right? That I
Or
could see
Mother's
that.
Day or something.
Or
it's
something.
a zeitgeist day.
Yeah. We could probably at the very least figure out like, yeah, we're targeting that and just kind of frame it as we're targeting that. But stuff happens, and if it did, here are optional fallback dates that could be targets. You know, we'll be in communication that, hey, their internet went out. I mean, Jesus, what are you gonna do? So there could at least be that to lessen the anxiety on the sponsor side, that it's like, you feel like I can't pin you down to anything yet, I'm giving you money, right? And then
Right.
also kind of lessen it on the streamer side, where it's like, hey man, if shit happened, shit happened. Gestures broadly to the entire world. But they would know that, like, just because that date wasn't met doesn't mean that we aren't trying to think ahead and pick some other options.
Yes.
That's a great idea, David.
I like that. Excellent. It's good communication and good language around it, to help. Just, I'm all about everything out in the open up front, as clear as we can and as simple as we can. And then, you know, if we need to get things down into an addendum or something like that on a case by case basis, then that's fine too. I think that's fine. Excellent. So I think next we should probably work on the contracts, both for this side and for this side. And I think also we should go to the sign up form. I know that you have a sample, Layla. We can maybe work on those in the next week or so. How about sign up form? Or where can we? I think you said Google Doc, right? I mean, Google, I'm fine with a Google form. I don't.
Yeah. I might be able to. I think I've still got some screenshots from when I originally did the sign up for Wizards.
Oh, that'd
I
be
can
great.
probably pull those off one of my old hard drives, and if
That'd
I've
be
still got
great.
them. Big if.
Let's also keep in mind what we have in our toolbox. We do have a website.
Yeah.
Adding a new page and a link and a basic HTML form that does an API request out to some mail service, or even it's just through the Google API.
Google form.
We could still keep it on our branded property.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's do that. I think as next steps, I'm fine to work with you on the contract, Layla, on those two.
Okay.
If you want to pass those back and forth, we'll do that in the policy channel. And then, you know, ML Astra, if you can think about even just the Google form fields or some of the questions, Robert, even on your side, you know, thinking about if you were to sponsor, I mean, you do these kinds of small things in the community. So if you were to sponsor, what are those questions and what are those things that you're going to look for? Maybe if you two could work on that, those form fields. And then, you know, once we get everything together, as of right now, Amelia Rose has been our go-to. Can you put up this page? So, you know, she might have an hour or something to do that after, of course, everything's all put together and the team goes through it. So I'd like to set another meeting next week. Do you think 1 week or you think 2 weeks? It depends. 2 weeks just to review what we've got, and we can go work on stuff, and just, you know, remembering that this is a volunteer organization. I don't want to be hounding everybody. Yeah, sure. So you have the tiniest dog ever. I don't think I've seen one smaller. That's amazing. What do you think? Where should we go from here? I threw a couple ideas out. What do you think is next?
I'm just looking at my calendar. I can do the same time next week. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, same here. I've pretty much got an open schedule apart from when I'm actually live, to be honest.
Great. So I will set it for next week. 10.
Oh, wait, Christina. It's UK clock shift next week. So
that won't.
Oh,
when 9.
Oh yeah.
9 your time.
Oh no.
Yeah, I just remembered. Oh my god, I actually forgot BST was coming on. Thank you for the reminder.
Someday.
But we
So we're
already
2 weeks
switched
after
our
you.
time. You're 2 weeks after? This is,
Yeah.
you know what? Time is
This
just
is not
done. Can we just say
helping.
race time? Can we?
It
Gladly.
look, it gets even better. There was a thing passed by the EU last year or the year before where they want to do away with observing daylight savings time, but they were leaving it up to member countries to choose which half they wanted to remain theirs on. Do you
No.
want to stick
Okay.
with you're always never daylight savings time or you're always on it? And
Oh my
then when you
gosh.
stick to it and we never switch.
All right.
Oh no.
It's
Be
yeah,
like Arizona, which doesn't have any daylight savings.
I mean, who wants more daylight hours in Arizona? It's too hot as it is.
So is 9
okay.
a.m. free for you? And like, what's that
Well,
for
9
you?
9
The
a.m. is
12?
tough. Is tough for
I definitely
me.
can't do 9 AM Eastern.
What can you do, David, next
I-
week on the 31st?
Anything other than that.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so can I ask you
Okay,
to
no,
go
that's
back?
fine. 10 is
and
fine.
Yeah.
move
So that'll
back?
Is that all
be
right with you?
that'll be 6
It's
p.m.,
6
wouldn't
for
it?
us. 6
Yeah.
Yeah.
p.m. for us. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so TLC sponsor.
I mean, if you wanted to do it earlier, I can probably be available. It's just that I've got a recurring meeting for work that's Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 AM. So
9:30? What were you
yeah,
going to say,
yeah.
Malastra?
I'm fine. No, I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say 9:30, Christina. Can you make that work?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you
I
meeting
can
with
do half nine.
Joe? Because I
could do
can
half
kick
nine.
him.
No, it's fine. I don't have a Joe meeting that day. We are coming back from camping that morning, so it'll be fine. I'll be coming back
I
down the
see.
mountain that morning, so I'll be fresh and mountain air. It'll be be my first
Do
meeting.
you think that, or you'll be like, I've slept in a tent and I want to kill things?
Oh no, it'll be great. No, nature is my second home, so it's good. It's really good.
I used to be that way, but I'm telling you, no matter what, that first shower and
You think? Oh
bathroom
yeah,
usage
that's true.
Mm.
in your
Oh,
own
hold on.
home.
Oh, you hold on. You're right. Listen. You make a good case. You make a good case. So I don't know, what else do you want to move it to another day or later in the afternoon? If you want to keep it early, it would have to be Thursday or Friday early for me, and I'm sorry, I'm the West Coast person.
I can Thursday early.
I can
do.
Thursday and Friday as early as you want.
What about you,
Thursday.
Malastra? Thursday.
Thursday tends to be a day where I've literally got my head stuck in a game, so I'm pretty much free for the entirety.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say, so don't interrupt my gameplay. Forget it.
Oh no. As long as I'll make sure to avoid the time. I'll make sure I don't have a raid start when that
Gotcha.
occurs.
Cool.
I have had that happen.
I am free from 9:15 your time. I think I'm meeting with Jeff prior to then. I usually like 5 minutes at least to go and make a drink or have a pit stop. So if you said 9:30 Pacific on Thursday, the 1st, April Fool's Day. Yeah.
Great.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
wait. Whoa, I'm sorry. Christina,
you can't do that, David.
You've been throwing 9 out. I've been thinking 9 Eastern. You're Pacific. We're basing this
I'm
on
talking
Pacific.
noon, darling. Noon. You.
I'm good.
I'm sorry,
you know what?
I'm 9 noon 1700.
Got you.
I got it down. I
take that back.
Go, Christina.
Wednesday
I do it
is
to everyone
fine.
now.
Wednesday is fine, and if you want to make it earlier to accommodate people, I am fine with that because that's noon my time. I'm done with that meeting.
Well, Christine's coming down the mountain.
Oh
then,
yeah,
so
but
we'll
I will
do Thursday.
Yeah, no, we'll do Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do
Okay,
Thursday. Dude, you sold me on the
9:30.
shower. You sold me on the hot shower. Like,
So
there's no going back.
I know. If you want to, so for Thursday, just to make it easier, since I'll be totally free and now I know like what the hell's going on, pick whatever is best for y'all.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Especially UK. Like this, UK to
That's what
West
I'm
Coast is a
saying.
giant gap that.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I can make it work for whatever you want on Thursday.
9:30, 12:30, 5:30. Done.
Perfect.
Dusted.
Sweet.
Cool.
Thursday the 1st.
Sorry for the
Excellent.
confusion. Again,
No,
what
it's
were
all
we
good.
saying about time?
Don't worry, David. It's fine.
I've been giving it. I've been giving time in Pacific Eastern UTC now with everything ever since I've been working with y'all. So
No, it has
and
to
my
be
mentees,
BST now.
so my
Ah.
mentees are like, oh right.
And
Yes.
technically, it's not PST or EST, it's EDT.
Oh,
and
we changed it
PDT.
as of Sunday. As of Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Pacific Daylight Time and Eastern Daylight Time. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
I've been
Not
scheduling my
standard
new
time.
mentees, and
Hey.
I've been telling them the times. They're like, we're in the same time zone. Why are you giving me 3 different times, Christina? I'm in California. I'm like, that's just what everybody gets now. That's it.
Everybody.
Yeah.
It's good
Everybody gets 3
practice. Good
times now.
practice.
It's
All right.
great. Thanks so much for your time, everyone. I appreciate
That'd
it.
be fine.
Please
Yeah.
go tell a friend and invite them to the next meeting.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget to stop the recording and upload it and all that good
You
jazz.
bet.